Guys, this is after Sensei Chat. Vcrypt asked me to look into a project called Games for a Living. It's at a $7 million market cap right now. We're just taking a look at it as a group. Just want to take a look here. Contract comment. I always like to get in here and just see what's going on with the project. On transactions. All right, let's take a look at the website now. And let's take a look. And I've been looking at another project code too. I'll tell you what it is in a second here. Welcome to Games for a Living. Was it brought to you by gaming industry leaders? Gamers, network, company, English. All right, let's go company, team. We'll take a look at what it is in a second. I just want to see if I know anybody. You always want to check links, right? Whenever you're checking stuff out, always check links. Always verify information, right? Or double verify if you can. If they give you links, you should be looking at some of these LinkedIn profiles and making sure these are legitimate people. I always look at past history, right? When you're looking at anyone's experience, you want to look at how long they've been there, right? 2 years and 1 month is good in Spain. And then what he did before, he was first vice president of Activision Blizzard King. I don't know, it does look like it's the Activision sign, so it looks like King. I don't know King, but this person does look like they have some good background. This guy's from EA. Okay, these are Harvard University. These are pretty legitimate people, it looks like. Stanford University. Show all experiences in education. He's a professor at University of Santa Barbara, 2019. Executive coach, board member. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what this is. I'll come back. And so they have LinkedIn posts I like this. They have LinkedIn's for every single person. That's great. That's great. You really like to see that. This is something you really like to see. All right. Let's see now, we got games. Let's take a look. So we got Elemental Raiders or we got Diamond Dreams. Let's take a look at these games. These are probably going to be AAA rated games. Access your location. Season 1, Veiled Gods. This type of game, guys, is super popular. I'll tell you why. The game that kind of set this off was like Final Fantasy, right? Does anyone remember playing Final Fantasy like 20 years ago on the original PlayStation? You fought in like a 3-person thing, and one person would go and attack and the second person, right? And this is like a very popular way to set up a game. It could be a $1 billion game waiting to happen. Hero Battler, PvE versus PvP, true ownership.
Laugh in the face of your enemies. Believe in truth or unjust. Transcend the limits of mortality. Fight the mythical creatures of Atlantis. Lead an army of mercenaries. Become one with the sword and prepare to win mastery in all martial arts. Why live in the shadows?
This looks pretty cool, man. I gotta tell you, this looks really cool. This looks really cool. All right, so this is one game, right? Let's check out the other game. Let's check out, this is Elemental Raiders. We got Elemental Raiders and we got Diamond Dreams. All right, so they have one game that's completed, one game that's working. Next thing we want to do, guys, is we want to go and we want to take a look at what they got in their Discord. Like how many people, what is the talk like? We want to check their Twitter. We want to check their Telegram. We want to check a lot of these different things, right? We're just going over how I would look at a project or what I would look at first before having an open conversation. So they have 20,000 members. Wow. Those could be some bots, but let's just take a look here. Now we're in. Let's check out who is in here. So we have Rooney Essentials up top, announcements. You want to check all this stuff, right? Is Vcrypt still here? I want to know what he thinks about this game. Was that Ursula from Little Mermaid? It looked like a gangster version of her, huh? Vcrypt, are you still here? Some big names behind the game space. It's actually it looks pretty cool. Seems like a pretty decent time to jump into it. Let's see how long it's actually been out. So this launched back here. So this launched this year, 3/13. So this has been going for like 2 months and a week. 2 months and 2 weeks. So it looks like it's doing pretty well. $7 million market cap's it seems pretty low from what these games could be. And God knows what else they're working on. Why don't I do this, Vcrypt? Let me work on getting this team in for an AMA. How does that sound? I'll reach out to their team today, see if we can set up an AMA and get them actually in the community so to talk about what they're building, what's to come, what the network is like. Okay, let's take a look at their marketplace. Or maybe they're building their marketplace. Okay. Safe, secure, verified online portal. Games for a Living does not hold and store private keys or digital wallets. As a custodian of their keys and digital wallets is always the user in the Games for a Living platform. The user must use exchange platforms in order to acquire and use GFail utility token. I'd like to know what the utility is behind the token and how that is in the gameplay, right? We really need to figure out how is the token going to be used inside of the games. And if we can start understanding that a little bit better, I think we can really understand like where this might go. If it does really get popular and blows up, it does seem like 20,000 is a pretty good, sizable people for 2 months of running in a Discord. Let me see Games for a Living. Where's their Twitter though? I wonder why their Twitter is not hooked up here. Let me see this. Okay, so let's go GFall official. Here we go. Damn, 50,000 followers. Okay. Their interaction's pretty good too. This looks like a very legitimate project. If you just ask me to go through it and give you 10 minutes of just looking through all the stuff I can and knowing what I know. 20 tweets is very low. I think a lot of this could be bot traffic. How do you have 20 tweets and you have 58,000 followers when you're only following 7? So this worries me a bit, right? Where did they get 55,000 followers so quickly after 2 months? Oh, it joined 2021. Okay, so maybe they had it planned. Okay, so it's been going on. But why do they only have 20 tweets? Like that bothers me a little bit. Maybe they just started releasing once the game was ready. That would be a question I'd ask in a AMA. Like, why do you guys have, it's very difficult to get this level of followers without using some type of bot traffic or whatever. So I'd want to ask them questions about that. I'd want to ask them about new games that are coming. A glimmer of hope remains for the survival of Rhaenyra. Will order be restored season 1? Games like this can go on for 20, 30 seasons, right? If it really gets popular and people like it, man, I need better internet. Imagine me running like my miners and all my stuff at home. I need way better internet. Depending on what characters we pick, we will have an advantage or a disadvantage against our opponents. We add cards to the deck as we play and level up. All right, I think this looks really cool, to be honest with you. I think this could be something pretty special. They're trying to bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 with their walls interface. I like it. VCrypt, I'm gonna reach out to their team. Let's just do it right now, man. We're here. So let's send a message to AJ. Hey, AJ. All right, message sent, brother. I will work on getting them in for an AMA, VCrypt, okay? Oh, Sound Searcher, good night, man. But yeah, if that's a 10-minute special of what I would look at is if somebody sent me a project to take a look at, that's what I'm taking a look at, like in the first 10 minutes. Like I'm going through the contract. I'm going to see how many holders they have when the project launched. What is the utility of the token? We really need to get into tokenomics and the white paper. That's really where the rubber meets the road. But if you just wanted a quick 10-minute evaluation, I'd say that the game looks pretty cool. And if you really turn your game into a mega hit, it could be something like $1 billion game. Who knows, right? What's going to happen, but that's how I would go through stuff really quickly. Sometimes recreating something, because like we all watched Little Mermaid as kids, right? Now we're older playing games. You take it back to people that are maybe in their 30s or 40s, right? They grew up with this stuff. So doing characters that look like characters that we know from might get us to play more, or might get us more involved. That's a smart way of looking at it or doing it. I like it. I think it looks pretty sharp, man. I think that for only been launched 2 months, I think they got a lot going for themselves. Just from the quick look, guys. Now, we're not talking about, I'm not investing money into this yet. I'd like to do an AMA and get some answers and understand the utility of the token and how that's going to be used. But it does look like a really cool game. So thank you, VCrypt, for sharing that. I'll do my best to get them in here as fast as possible for an AMA, okay?